Chapter 11, Biotechnology Principles and Processes. So, first we are talking about the principles. There are two principles in the biotechnology. First is genetic engineering. In the genetic engineering, we alter the DNA. We cut the DNA at different parts and joining the another desired DNA fragment into the DNA, into the another DNA. So, this whole process, cutting and altering the DNA, is known as genetic engineering. Second is to maintenance of sterile conditions during genetic engineering. When we cut or when we alter the DNA, so we need to make that environment sterile to enable the growth of another microbes. If in the genetic engineering another microbes develops there, so it may damage your DNA sequence, or you are not able to identify the transformants or the non-transformants. Restriction enzymes. Restriction enzymes are the most important tool for the biotechnology or genetic engineering. These restriction enzymes used to cut the DNA as a molecular scissor. We obtain restriction enzymes from the different strains of bacteria. So basically restriction enzymes are the defensive system of the bacteria which prevent the bacteria to infected by other DNA substance or RNA substance. So there are two types of restriction enzymes, exonuclease and endonuclease. The restriction enzymes are the members of nuclease class of enzymes. Exonuclease enzymes cut the DNA from their outer part, from their terminal parts, and the endonuclease enzyme cut the DNA from their middle part or into the inner side of the DNA. So basically for the biotechnology or for the genetic engineering, we mostly use endonuclease enzymes. There are more than 900 endonuclease enzymes which we discover. So one example is Hint2. Hint2 is a endonuclease enzyme. Endonuclease enzyme always cuts the DNA sequence from a specific sites. So these specific sites are known as palindromic sequence. These palindromic sequence are the sequence found on the DNA or are the sequence of nucleotide which found on the DNA. If we read the palindromic sequence, they are always same from one side to the another side. If we read this palindromic sequence from 5' to 3' GAATTC, and on the another strand, if we again read this sequence from 5' to 3' is GAATTC. So palindromic sequence having same sequence from 5' to 3' on the both of the DNA strand. GAATTC, another GAATTC, 5 to 3', 5 to 3'. So each endonuclease enzyme has its own unique palindromic sequence. PCR, polymerase chain reaction. This is the technique to amplify the DNA sequence or the DNA fragment into many copies, into multiple copies. It has three steps: denaturation, annealing, and extension. So we use different temperature techniques and the different unique DNA polymerase enzyme. The first step is denaturation. In this step, we increase the temperature to the 94 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the hydrogen bond between the two DNA strands breaks and the two DNA now separated from each other. Into the another step, that is annealing, primers get attached to the both DNA strand from the end of 3', because always the DNA polymerase enzymes works from 3' to 5', so that is why primers always attached to the 3' end. In this application, we use a TAP polymerase enzyme. This enzyme has the capability to do work at the higher temperature. So for the annealing, we use 45 to 60 degrees centigrade temperature. After the annealing, the another step is extension. At extension, the TAP polymerase enzyme starts adding nucleotides. After the end of extension, from one DNA strand, we found two DNA strands. If we repeat this cycle 30 times, we found 1 billion copies of this single strand of DNA. From this technique, we amplify the amount of DNA. Recombinant DNA technology. In this technology, we have to make a recombinant DNA. The recombinant DNA is a DNA which having, in recombinant DNA technology, we use a vector that is called also plasmid. It is found mainly inside the bacterial cell and it is a circular DNA. We cut this DNA and add in gene of interest to make many products, and the information of these products is found in our gene of interest. So first we use of animal cell or plant cell, and first step is isolation. From the isolation we isolate the chromatic material from the cell with the help of enzyme lysozyme. Lysozyme is an enzyme who can dissolve or who can digest the cell membrane. Now this chromatic material we use restriction endonuclease enzyme on this chromatic material to cut the DNA into small fragments. In these small fragments, we choose our gene of interest which we need to introduce into the vector cell. So, for the choosing this gene of interest, we use another process that is called gel electrophoresis. After going through from this process, we found our gene of interest. On the another end, again, we take a plasmid or vector from the bacterial cell using the same lysozyme enzyme. We cut this vector from the restriction endonuclease enzyme same as we have used into the cutting of chromatin material, because if we use same restriction enzymes, these enzymes cuts the vector and the DNA from the same palindromic sequence, so it is now again so it will be easy or convenient to join these two DNA strands. Okay, now after getting the gene of interest and the cutting and the vector, we join both of the DNA with the help of enzyme that is called ligase. Ligase enzyme has the capability to join the DNA fragments. After joining two DNA fragments, we found the recombinant DNA. This recombinant DNA now we need to transform into the another host cell. So the process of introducing the recombinant DNA into the host cell is called as transformation, and for the transformation we use many different techniques according to the cell, like microinjection, gene bombarding, gene gun, or heat shock method. So there are many different techniques to introduce this recombinant DNA into the host cell. After introduction, this host cell is known as transformates. These transformates goes for the further cell division. This bacterial cell or any another cell will go for the cell division, or after many cell division there are many copies will be available into that particular area, and this process, that is why this process is known as copying. After copying, this recombinant DNA goes for the protein synthesis inside the cell, will make the protein or will make the product, the information of that product which is found in that gene of interest. So after making the product, we purify that material from the bacterial cells or from the host cell, find that material will go for the downstream processes, and after the downstream processes, that material will be available into the markets for the consumers. This is the diagram of a vector or a plasmid which is found inside the bacterial cell. It is the double stranded circular DNA by vector named as PVR322. A typical vector consists some palindromic sequence or the some sites at which many different restriction endonuclease enzymes have the capability to cut that DNA. So there are some restriction endonuclease enzymes who can cut the DNA at a specific part, that is called as recognition sites. So this vector consists many recognition sites. The recognition sites are the sites from which any restriction endonuclease enzymes can cut that particular DNA. So from here, at this PST1 restriction endonuclease enzyme can cut this DNA. From this part, PVU1 restriction enzymes can cut this DNA. From this part, EcoR1 restriction enzyme can cut this DNA strand, and from these parts, CLA first or HIT second can cut this DNA fragment. From here, BAMH1 can cut this DNA fragment. So this is the recognition site for the BAMH1, and from here, SAL1 can cut this DNA from, and here PVU second restriction enzymes can cut this DNA from this here. So these are some recognition sites for the different restriction endonuclease enzymes. A vector also consists some areas which are resistant for any antibiotic medicine. So this vector has the resistant power for the ampicillin or the tetracycline. This area of DNA has the nucleotide sequence which has the information of the protein from which they can protect that bacteria from the ampicillin. So this part is known as ampicillin resistant part of the DNA, and this part is the tetracycline resistant part of the DNA. So it means that the bacteria which is having this vector has the capability to protect our cells from the ampicillin antibiotic and the tetracycline antibiotic. There's another thing is ORI, origin of replication. If we use any vector, it will definitely should have the origin, ORI, origin of replication. If there is no origin of replication, then it means that this vector cannot able to replicate itself without origin of replication. ROP is the region of protein. This region is a protein which will have for the DNA replication.